Oh, yeah, I saved the evidence. Of course, I saved the evidence. After Natalie was killed, there was a guy named Darren O'Connor. He tried to get some clout for himself by pretending they cared about the homeless. But then the only people he actually helped out of the 7 people assaulted by Waylon Lolatai are ones that were not homeless. I met with Darren O'Connor on several occasions before Natalie was killed as well, but that's neither here or there. After Natalie was killed, matter of fact, the day Candace Bondurant came to pick me up, I spoke with Darren O'Connor. What a piece of shit. He didn't want to come forward. Whatever. If he wants to be a piece of shit like that, that's on him. I'm not going to hide the truth just because he's a fucking coward. Or because he's fishing for clout. So Candace Bondurant, I'd just gotten out of the jail because I was assaulted by Waylon Lolatai and he wanted to pretend I assaulted him. So they gain access to my computer by charging me with a felony, collecting my DNA. You know what? I already gave that shit freely to the actual officers who are actually supposed to be investigating Natalie's murder. There was no reason for these son of a bitches to pull the shit they did. I needed someone there and fucking present to stop this shit. I don't have any real friends, obviously. There's one lady willing to help me, thank goodness. The rest of these fucking cowards, they can kiss my rosy red ass. So Candace Bondurant, she came and picked me up. We went to McDonald's. We ran into a homeless guy that I know named Rick Duran. He goes by Shadow. Lots of people think they gotta have cool nicknames on the streets. I'm Shadow, I'm Shadow. You can call me Ninja. Cool, whatever. So Candace, she spent a bunch of money to give these homeless folks some McDonald's gift cards. God, I need to trim my mustache. Then she took me to her place in Haxton, Colorado. While we were in Haxton, Colorado, she borrowed one of the computers from work. Now, at this point, since getting my phone back from the Boulder Police Department, it's got a, what do they call that? A screen overlay or something like that was on it. It was preventing me from being able to utilize it properly. It was preventing me from being able to post links, to do anything of that nature. And it stayed that way for months. I went to just about everybody that I knew, going, hey, I'm showing them this, going, I can't make my phone work, So, thank goodness for Miss Peaches or Kayla Trujillo. The problem is these people needed to come forward. Now, Candace took me to her place, right? And she works at the hospital in Haxton. And of course, the guy that she works for is a doctor named Cody Craig, who no longer works there. And we go in and we check out my wrist. Of course, it was still in a shit ton of pain, but they said that it wasn't broken, which is good. Now, in our messages, she also explains that she was going to bring my hospital paperwork home, but she didn't. And she let me use her computer, but it's her work computer, and it won't do anything either. It's a work computer for a hospital. You're not supposed to be on fucking YouTube anyway. So that's the computer I was trying to use. So then they gave her a computer that she could take home with her to work with. And she said I could use that one. Meanwhile, I can't do shit on it. It was fucking stupid. It's another one of those computers that's got bullshit on it that makes it so that you can't use it the way that I needed to use it. So I get there and I set up to make a video, and I start taking these pictures off of her wall because you never know. I mean, I've already got Cara Rogers, aka Cara Mia, telling me that people are threatening to kill her kid and sending her pictures of her son with a noose around his neck and crazy shit like that. Not fucking okay. Candace says, just leave the pictures up, it'll be fine. So I make the video, and a few minutes later, she tells me, Sean, people are posting up pictures of my old house with those pictures on the wall. So I gotta close my Facebook so they can't mess with me. I told her, hey, this needs to be turned into the cops. This needs to be turned into the cops. She didn't give a fuck. Either she was bullshitting me or those things really happened. If they really happened, she should have gone to the fucking cops immediately. So then, of course, Cara Rogers, aka Cara Mia, gets Natalie's ex-stepmother, Shelley. No, she got me in contact with Danica. And I thought Danica, Rochelle Garner, because Rochelle, Shelley, I just assumed it was the Shelley that Natalie and Alicia had talked about. Nope. And it was Danica Garner who got me in contact with Rochelle Shelley Campbell. All of these people contacted me first. Me. And then they played head games for months. Now, of course, Laura Nelson came down, and she knows a lot about the situation. And she wants to tell me how she's afraid for her son. But you know what? A lot of people who spoke up have to be afraid for their kids. And each one of these people who wants to stab me in the foot, stab me in the back, throw me under the bus, it's not just me they're throwing under the bus, it's these other people and their kids. So Candace is telling me while I'm there, and mind you, this freaks me out quite a bit. She's talking about, well, just like a lot of guys do, she wants to sound tough. Oh, if somebody comes through that door, I'll put a 45 between their eyes. I don't want to hear this shit. I just had a friend of mine have her fucking brains blown out after making my life a living hell for over a year. Not okay. So Laura Nelson's in some of those videos, and you hear this, what kind of sounds like a laugh. It's not a laugh, that's just the way that Laura deals with certain stressors. So Laura's sitting there on the couch while I'm making the video, doing the best that I can. And, she goes home, does her own thing, because at that point in time, the assault by Waylon Lolatai prevented me from leaving the state of Colorado for my own safety. All right? This is a fucked up situation. Meanwhile, the only reason that I was trying to leave state is because people like Lana Engeline and Amanda Engeline are pressuring me to leave the state. Yes, I needed a safe place to go, but I needed to get that flip phone, by the way. I got that flip phone. When you go back through and look at some of the screenshots that are the covers for my videos, some of them are blue and white. They're from Natalie. They're from Alicia. They're from that flip phone. It's not okay. So then I give Miss Shelley my information. I give her everything that she needs so that she can look for herself. It's for her to look. And I let her know that I would give her 3 full days to look at my Facebook and go through everything that she needs to. Now, mind you, Broomfield Police Department and the Adams County Sheriff's Department have had this from the day that I went in there. And that would have been December 29th. Miss Peaches and her brother, Gilbert Ortega, they helped me to take the passcode off of that computer so that I could turn it in to the cops in Natalie's case, to show them what was going on, to allow them free access to all of that information. I also gave them the phone that was full of threats, full of harassment, full of evidence of people calling me up and telling me they're going to kill me over this shit. It's not okay. So after I've given all of that information to Miss Shelley, and I've told Candace, hey, I gave all of that information to Miss Shelley so that she can have access to it. If I've got it open here, and she's got it open in, I think she said she was in Grand Junction at the time, fearing for her life and fearing for her kids. This is what Miss Shelley's telling me. She's hiding. She's afraid for her kids. And sure enough, next morning after I give all that information out, I get the pocket dial from Miss Shelley. It sounds like she's getting, like she's being harmed. So I called 911. I went outside. Officer Michael Beard was already there. He was already in front of Candace's fucking house. He got the call while he was talking to me. I also got a message from Miss Shelley almost immediately after that. I let Miss Shelley know, hey, you need to contact me. I'm scared. Miss Shelley, you need to contact me. Miss Shelley, I'm going to call 911. Miss Shelley, Miss Shelley. You see the screensaver for this one. This is the very next day. Now, Candace is being a bitch to me at this point. You're putting my kids at risk. I didn't put your fucking kids at risk. I didn't. That bullshit with Michael Beard was not okay. Now, because I made a 911 call, he needed to file a report, a police report. He didn't. That's against the law in both the state of Colorado and the state of Nebraska. So the next day, Candace tells me, oh, well, you can use my phone to do that stuff. I explained to her it's not going to do me any good. I already gave all of that stuff to Miss Shelley. I literally had to explain to this dumb fucking cunt almost a dozen times. I already gave all of my information to Miss Shelley so she can spend 3 days looking through it. And Candace is persistently being a fucking moron. Like, holy shit, are you fucking deaf? Meanwhile, I'm explaining it to her in a nice fashion. I'm explaining it to her as nicely as I fucking can. So, I'm digging everywhere that I can for actual evidence from Natalie about her situation. That includes her YouTube channel, which, by the way, is still up. Several of the videos that she had are not apparently allowed to be played in this country, which weirds me out. Now, it shouldn't take me too long to find the link to it. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. Let's see. Anyway, so Candace gets a hold of me, and she lets me know that the cops are harassing her. Literally, the cop that I talked to the day before was outside waiting for her when she went to take her kid to school. Not okay. Not fucking okay. Then she lets me know that he came to her work to harass her. That's also not okay. Now, is she telling me the truth or not? Is she telling me the truth or is she lying out her ass? I let her know she needed to turn in that fucking cop. I told her, you know what? I was thinking about going to that officer. He at least talked to me like I was nice. I mean, he dismissed everything I was saying. Also, at this point, I had gotten a hold of the detectives in Natalie's case and said, hey, the cops won't take my fucking report. They won't do a goddamn thing about this shit. Obviously, because Michael Beard hadn't done anything about that shit. And then Michelle, she's wanting me to pretend that we're not in contact with one another, and she's telling me also not to let Danica know anything. Holy shit, Danica's the one that gave her my fucking number. Shelly got a hold of me because Danica gave her my number. These are both of Natalie's ex-stepmothers. And both of them let me know that, well, they said I had more of a reaction to Natalie's death than Ted did. Of course, by this point, Candace is letting me know I gotta find a place to stay. She don't want to get thrown out in the snow. She's getting fucking harassed by her landlord. I mean, this shit right here is literally what pushed me to the point of attempting suicide, and I have attempted suicide on more than one occasion since then. Now, why did I try to kill myself in that hotel room? Well, Candace Bondurant, after this stuff right here, and a lot of other people, including Miss Shelley and Danica and all of these other people, telling me how afraid they are. Yeah, it makes a big fucking difference. Candace was talking about how big Billy badass she was with a 44 or a 45. I can't fucking remember now. It was one or the other. But when it was the cops who came by, yeah, she fucking shriveled into a goddamn bean. She shrank up like a squid in the desert. No balls. No balls whatsoever. So, I tried to show the truth. I tried to speak out. I was fucking homeless, staying, first of all, Laura Nelson, after all this shit's happening, and Candace is telling me I need to find a place to stay. Laura Nelson gives me a ride to Todd Ryan Case's house, or apartment, that he lived in with his girlfriend, Chloe Pachovis. At this time, Todd's already rescued me like twice since Natalie's death. I mean, he rescued me before I even knew Natalie was dead, while we were still trying to find her. He was driving by, he saw me, he told me to get in. This is not the first time the Todd Ryan case has done this. He has rescued many a homeless people from shitty situations, given them blankets, given them food, taken them out to eat, even given them a place to stay for the night. He'd let me know that he was out of the game. He was not in the game anymore. I told him I needed his help. They were trying to find Joey Moreno. That was one of Natalie's boyfriends at the time. She had two of them, Joey Moreno and Justin Ward. Now, Candace was not understanding of how important looking at all of the evidence was. How leaving no stone unturned was very important. That it wasn't just listening to her songs, it was recording that information for good fucking reason. I still didn't know how to take screenshots with my telephone. This is not cool. And she's telling me she's got to be afraid for her kids. Laura Nelson's telling me she's got to be afraid for her kids. I get to hear that stuff from my sister. She's afraid for her daughter. Fuck this goddamn country. Is this what you fucking soldiers are shooting foreign kids for? Fuck you. Fucking pieces of shit. Are you fighting for the fucking Constitution? Here in the United States? Or are you killing foreign kids? Are you dropping drones on weddings? So, of course, we're looking for Natalie Bollinger's profile here. We'll go back through until we find it. Now, are these people fucking with me, or are they telling the goddamn truth? Oh, goddamn, that's a good one. I am glad I found that one. That's got Gilbert Ortega in it. It's got Roseanne Kelly in it. Fuck yes. Put that in the goddamn live chat. Hell yeah. It's not like I haven't been trying to show it. Let's keep on scrolling through. Oh, here's another one. Natalie Bollinger, How Her Lies Destroyed Innocent Lives, and the So-Called Media Too. Put that one up here. See, I'm looking for something in specific. I'm not finding what I'm after in specific yet, but I'm finding a lot of stuff. We're still going through. We're having to skip over a bunch of friggin' podcasts. Natalie Bollinger, How Her Lies Destroyed Innocent Lives, and the So-Called Media. Oh, here's the first one. We'll post that one up too. Blam. Paste. Alright, over in the live chat, there's already 3 links that are important, and we haven't even gotten to what we're looking at, or what we're looking for. There's a lot more important shit here, but of course we're looking for something in specific, ain't we? It's pretty important to find in specific what we're after, ain't it? Copy link address. This is called For Tim. That's Tim Beeson, by the way. This is part of Natalie Bollinger's playlist. But we're looking for the actual profile. Here's another one. This one's called Rad. It's also one of Natalie Bollinger's playlists. But we haven't gotten to her actual profile yet, have we? You know what? I can click on that playlist. That'll work. Here's fuck it, we'll post this up. This guy wanted to call me gay as if that makes it okay. Lots of hate mongering. Lots of people that really, really don't like homosexuals. Well, I've been picked on for being gay my whole life, and I've never been gay. Copy. Paste. Anyway, I'm sent out to the fucking wolves. The situation at Todd's was very scary. We got back into the game to try to get some information from some of his contacts. Of course, they're not going to trust you if you're not doing their drugs. So he was doing a lot of drugs with them. A lot of drugs. It's just part of it. He was doing his best to try to help find Joey Moreno. From what we knew at the time, all we knew is that Joey Moreno hadn't been seen, hadn't been heard from. It disappeared. So we were trying to do the best we could to try to find him. It wasn't working out so good. We did get a few leads on another Joey Moreno we know, because there's more than one Joey Moreno. I was still pretty sure at that point that it was either Ted Bollinger or Tim Beeson, especially with Tim Beeson and his history of what he had done to Natalie, and Ted Bollinger with his history of what he had done to Natalie. It's not like I haven't been shown the truth from day fucking one. So then there's the part where some of the people that worked at Starbucks were going to help me. A lady named Soraya, a lady named Allie, God, what was that other lady? Oh, and God, what is her name? McKenna. I'm going to have to look it up. But they were going to help me in Louisville. And there was a guy named Brandon Ratner, and he gave me a ride so that I could go to Louisville. And we stopped at a pawn shop on the way there. And Brandon, just like most of these idiots, between actually helping a friend who's going through hell and chasing pussy is what's important. So he's got this girl, and he's always like this. There's always some girl that he's got to go chase. Always. He's got to go chase some girl. When Mandy Singer was talking about guys with expectations, yeah, that's Brandon Ratner. He'll help you, but he's basically got to have a romantic interest in you. And that's not saying he didn't help me, and that's not saying that he had a romantic interest in me. But between me and something with boobs, he's going to go for something with boobs every time. Brandon Ratner did help me out more than once. He helped me move my stuff from Chapel, Nebraska, down to Ken and Leah's on South Zuni in Inglewood. Not Sheridan, by the way. Wrong jurisdiction, dumbasses. He also helped me move my stuff. Well, the stuff that wasn't... I was living in a garage there, and I was paying about $275 a month to stay in that garage. And after Natalie's death, Ken and Leah stealing my money, and Don Bird assaulting me, and yeah, that's what made me leave to go to Miss Peaches and say, hey, I need help. Ken and Leah are ripping me off. I'm having to deal with this shit with Natalie. I need help. I need actual help, Miss Peaches. She had back surgery, and me and Raj are up all night the night before. This is like the 27th to the 28th. Miss Peaches just had back surgery, and she's telling me that she's gonna help me with this stuff after dinner. So I'm getting ready to get started on dinner. I've already contacted Shauna Sinclair. I'm freaking out at this point. We don't know that anything is happening, Natalie. I've already gotten a hold of Shauna Sinclair and asked her for help with making a GoFundMe. I can't survive on this shit. Ken and Leah are stealing all my money. What am I supposed to fucking live on? I needed help stopping it. And of course, before dinner got started, what happens? I got the chorizo in one hand and a cast iron skillet in the other, and I get a phone call from a number. That number, when I posted up about Natalie missing, turns out it's just a general line. Miss Peaches was in the kitchen with me when I got that call, and I literally hit the floor. I don't mean punched it. I mean, I dropped like a sack of fucking potatoes. So there, I stopped trying to pursue her in court and stopped trying to pursue Ken and Leah in court, and I'm focused 100% on getting Natalie Bollinger safe. That's my only concern at that point. Meanwhile, my friends are telling me to do all sorts of stuff that no. We got 48 hours max to try to find her before whoever has got her freaks out, fucking kills her if it's not her family. And most of the time, that's not the situation. But just in case. So they're telling me to shut up and keep my mouth shut. Fuck you. Natalie Bollinger is my friend. I love her as much as I love these other people. Even if they do fucked up shit, yes, I still love Miss Peaches. She still did fucked up shit. Yes, I still love Candace. Candace is by far the worst friend I've ever had because of the shit that she pulled in January before they found Joseph Michael Lopez. Now, of course, I'm trying to turn in the assaults by Waylon Lolotai and his officers, and I'm having to jump through a bunch of expensive goddamn hoops and pre-trial bullshit in fucking Boulder County. I'm out in the fucking freezing cold without all of the gear that I need. I'm carrying that fucking backpack with me goddamn everywhere. It's full of evidence. I've just literally spent all of this time trying to show it to the cops to get blown off no matter what. Allie doesn't show up. I think it was Allie. And that's the thing about it being so long ago and having to deal with so many people through all this. It ain't okay. So then, Brandon Ratner, we buy that computer, and I'm explaining to the lady, I need one with a camera. So they bring me one that I buy it, and I look at it after I've just bought it. I'm getting ready to go out to the store. I'm like, it doesn't have a camera. And the sales lady, she tells me, oh, well, I thought you wanted one without a camera. Most people want one without a camera. Well, no, I need the camera. So, of course, I buy the camera. Brandon Ratner, he's got to go chase some tails, so he drops me off at the motel. And, of course, at the motel, they want extra money for me to stay there because it was paid for by somebody else. So I give them extra money on my card. So I basically got no fucking money. Lots of people helped me, but they didn't help me because they didn't speak up. So no matter what I say, I must be crazy, I must be paranoid, I must be schizophrenic. No, fuck you, you fucking pieces of shit. Fuck you, Laura Nelson. Fuck you, Candace Bondurant. Fuck you, Brandon. I was also in contact with Brandon Jepson while I was at Candace Bondurant's. And Brandon Jepson, he was more than happy to tell me about, well, what is pain compliance? It's literally torture. You look at what people are tortured for, and you look what pain compliance is for, they're exactly the same thing. So yes, police officers are taught to torture you to obtain a false confession, which they have done repeatedly. Meanwhile, because there is no sound recording in those institutions, jails, hospitals, things of that nature, they can put whatever narrative on it they fucking want.
Well, he was resisting arrest. He was being psychotic.
No, you fucking bitches lied to me. Any excuse to look the other way, right? Candace was all gung-ho and she thought it was going to be a possibility of bikers, but when it was the cops. Different story, huh? Why did I have to use Candace Bondurant's work computer? Because I gave the computer that I had freely to the detectives in Natalie Bollinger's case. When I was talking to Michael Beard, after getting done talking to him and talking to Detective Peterson, Peterson says, hey, well, next time, use my name. Tell them I told them to. Well, that didn't fucking work either. So when I was in that motel, of course, this is like the 26th or 27th, and Brandon's abandoned me, and McKenna, who is supposed to be a manager at the Starbucks there in Louisville, she's not there. I've gone down several times, and I've asked if she's there, and they're like, "Oh no, she's not working today. She's not working today." And Callie, she's not getting back a hold of me. I don't know why. But the people that she said that were going to help me, these are people who used to work at Starbucks in Boulder, Colorado. People that I used to walk out to the garbage cans for their own fucking safety, because there were safety issues with the homeless. These people knew me for years. But you know what? They weren't there. Brandon wasn't there. These people weren't speaking out. I'm getting informed that all of these people are having their lives threatened and having their children threatened and things of this nature. And yeah, of course I wanted that to stop. So what did I do? I went down to the Safeway that was there just down the street in Louisville, and I bought myself well, 3 bottles of 200 milligram, or with 200 pills each of 500 milligram caffeine pills, and some pudding, and 2 packages of sleeping pills. And I go to the motel and I say, because everybody's telling me, you need help, you need help, you need meds, you need meds, you need meds. No, these people are legit telling me this shit. All right, this isn't an I need meds thing. This is an I need actual fucking help. So there's a dispensary right there. I go and buy me some weed. You know what? I'm gonna smoke me a fucking fat bowl. I'm gonna go back to my hotel room, and I'm gonna kill myself on camera for God and everybody to fucking see. This is the shit they fucking put me through. I found a couple of chocolates that I can eat now, but the thought of chocolate makes me rich to this day. We'll not talk about that. I figured if I was dead, it was the best way to keep my friends and my family from being harassed like that. But then I thought about Ted going free. I mean, I'm sweating like a motherfucker. And I don't want to die. I don't want Ted to get away. We didn't know who had killed her at that point. I knew that I had already exposed Ted for the shit that he had done to Natalie. That's what she got the protection order for, by the way. Because I exposed her fucking dad. I've already showed the proof that I got a hold of her mom beforehand to explain the situation, the way that I was being treated. I shouldn't have had to fucking spell it out. This is common fucking sense, but most women aren't going to think about that. They don't care. They don't care if men are being abused. They deserve it. They have penises. So I unlock my door and I start going down the stairs. And there's a black lady who works there. She's real nice. And there was a trans person there named May, and May is autistic as well. And May was gonna help me too. Well, I don't remember this black lady's name, but I remember I was sweating like a fucking pig. And she still gave me a hug. She said it's gonna be alright. The ambulance is on the way. I was telling her I don't want to die. And then I collapsed in the front entrance. And they put me on the stretcher. And the officer said he's sweated through his pants. And yeah, I had sweat through my pants. I was wearing 4 pairs of them. So they took me to the hospital in Louisville. I've still got that bag of evidence. I'm still alive, so I keep on trying to show it. Of course, they had to bring me back to life. That's what I was told later. I don't know if that's true or not. They told me that at Clearview. The nurse, I remember a whole bunch of puking, a whole bunch of it, just over and over and over again. And I tried calling 911, and they took away my phone. They wouldn't let me call 911, told me it was a felony for me to call 911 from the hospital. They put me in a special observation room with a glass door over the front. And the security guard was being a fucking goddamn douchebag. Finally, he comes in and he says, well, you know what, I need the police here. Am I being held? Oh no, you're here of your own free will. You're here of your own free will. Well, if that's the case, I'm leaving. So they tackled me to the floor and injected fucking ketamine into me, you son of a bitches. All I remember after that is a bunch of yellow. I mean, I couldn't see anything. Everything was yellow. Like, if you look over here, I'm not sure if it looks the same for you guys, but my name, Sean David, on my screen is bright yellow. It was that yellow. That's what I saw. And I remember screaming at the top of my lungs, Ted, you fucking raped your daughter, you son of a bitch. You fucking killed your daughter, you son of a bitch. I remember I could feel that I was handcuffed to the fucking bed. I don't remember a whole hell of a lot after that. I don't remember the ride to Clearview. Clearview is in a different county. I was trying to turn in Waylon Lolotai for what he had done. That's what I was trying to call 911 for. I was trying to call in all of this shit that was actually fucking happening. And you'd think if these people were actually my friends, they would have fucking spoken up instead of being fucking pieces of shit to this day. So they send me to Clearview. And in Clearview, Dr. David West sees me for less than 5 minutes the whole time I was there. Maybe 10 minutes max with the other people that he spoke with. For the most part, it was a bunch of uneducated fucking idiots and a head charge nurse who was being a fucking cunt. Now, I'd tried to get in contact with Candace Bondurant's mother, who was a bitch to me on the phone. You just need meds. Fuck you, Lori Dale. You can suck a fat cock. Oh, wait, no, you weren't good enough for Rick Dale, were you? He had to go fishing for some other vagina, didn't he? You don't want your fucking personal business out there? Kiss my ass. By the way, there's recordings with Lori Dale on here, too. That's Candace Bondurant's mom. And she talks about Candace being afraid for her kids, too. And then she wanted to be pissed off that that was posted up and wanted to complain and whine and bitch and moan. Too fucking bad. Maybe you should have come forward about that to begin with. I was able to get Candace Bondurant because they fucking hurt me. I mean, they hurt me bad. I've already had my knee twisted. I've had fucking Officer Waylon Lolotai fucking try to twist my leg off of my fucking body. He's already turned my wrist sideways in the fucking cuffs. Darren O'Connor has taken a picture of the bruising, and there ain't much left. I mean, they kept me locked up until the bruising was gone, kept me prevented from being able to use my telephone. Bogus goddamn charges. It's obvious in all of these goddamn body cameras that I'm trying to tell them what the fuck is going on. They don't give a shit. They've got a frame job they're trying to pull. That doesn't coincide with their frame job, so they're not fucking having it. Fucking horse shit. So then, I'm at Clearview. They're holding me longer than they should. And of course, I'm trying to call 911 about the way that they're treating me in there. There was this purty white girl, blonde hair, blue eyes. And I talked to her and I said, hey, now mind you, there's also a lady in there named Natalie, Natalie Mango. And she was basically my battle buddy in there. I mean, there's a lot of patients in there who are not happy with the staff. Almost all of the patients in there, with the exception of the ones who were pissed off that I was up all night keeping them up. There was a lot of them that literally applauded me. So this blonde lady at Clearview, I'm trying to ask one of the other ladies, because she's not telling me her name, but she's telling me that, holy shit, I could do a whole goddamn 5-hour episode on the bullshit at Clearview. And I tried. I spoke out about Clearview, about how they held me longer than they should, about how they prevented me from calling the fucking cops, about what they were doing there, not just to me, but to other patients, and still trying to turn in Waylon Lolatai. I didn't find out till the day that I left that we weren't in Boulder County. I'd never even heard of Johnstown before this. Thank goodness Louisville burned to the fucking ground. Now, they had a thing up the other day saying that 3 people died, but I saw another thing the day after saying miraculously everyone survived. You know what? When I saw that fire, there's 2 things I wished for the whole town to burn to the ground and for everyone to survive. So I got what I wanted, didn't I? Let's get back to the story of Clearview. So this blonde lady, I go and ask one of the other staff members what her name is, and this woman is literally playing fucking stupid. All right, the blonde lady had played stupid. I was like, why haven't I been taken in for x-rays? She's like, oh, we already got your x-rays. No, those were from the beginning of fucking January. Those were from when I was at Candace Bondurant's after the assault by Waylon Lolatai, where they claimed I tried to bite them. With what? What the fuck am I gonna bite him with? They made false fucking reports and false allegations and tried to make me look like a violent piece of shit. So yeah, they got the x-rays from Candace Bondurant, and the lady tells me, well, you got degenerative disc disease. I already know that. Candace told me. She works for the doctor who looked at me. I already know this. What I'm saying is I need to know how much more damage you have done to me. And that is going to require some x-rays. So this other lady, who I'm asking who this blonde lady is, who refused to give me her name, this other lady is telling me the wrong name. She's telling me the name of the head charge nurse, by the way. At the Clearview bullshit, we'll put this up here. The screensaver, or the screenshot for this, the lady on the very front, this is the head charge nurse. She is such a fucking piece of shit. So the lady that I'm asking, who doesn't know fucking shit from Shinola, she's telling me that she's telling me the name of the head charge nurse. No, what's the fucking blonde bitch's name? The one that I was just talking to. And she's going out of her way to play fucking stupid. Just like they were playing stupid when I was trying to call in the damage that the police had done to my car in Virginia. They play fucking retarded. Retarded means slowed down. Obviously, if they are that mentally slowed down, they should not hold those positions. So, when they wouldn't let me call 911 and wouldn't let me turn them in, I tried to rip their goddamn phone off the wall. They wanted me to go to the timeout room. I went calmly. I went collectively. I needed the cops there. And then they assaulted me. And then, well, I'm trying to hide underneath the fucking mattress that they got there. Please don't fucking do this. Please don't do this. I need the cops here. So what do? They inject me with mind-altering medications. I don't know what they put in me. I'm assuming it was a 10 and 2. A 10 and 2 is 10 milligrams Haldol and 2 milligrams of, God, what is it? It's a B-52. I mean, that's what they called it. It's a B-52. Now, those of you who know what a B-52 is, it's actually a bomb. And the reason they call it a B-52 is because you fucking crash. It doesn't work right on me, though. And they're laughing about it. Now, there's another lady. Now, of course, we put the one to, this is called Dying for Help, a mental health crisis in Clearview. The lady on the front is the head charge nurse. Now, this other lady, you can see her in the video. The woman who is, it's called More Problems Uncovered Inside Clearview Mental Health Hospital in Colorado. This is from Denver 7. See, copy link address. The lady who's on the front of this, right after they've injected these drugs, this woman is laughing about it. She thinks it's fucking hilarious. Well, they didn't think it was so hilarious as soon as them drugs actually hit my system. And Mr. Man Bun wanted to make some fucking jokes and laugh about it while I was knocking on the other door saying, hey, I need the police here. And what do? Well, you get to see me doing a flying maneuver because I'm on fucking drugs that they put in me. I told them, don't put that shit in me. You won't like the green guy, basically. Please don't do this. This is the wrong thing to do. I am telling you that I'm pretty sure I know what you're about to put in me, and you're not going to enjoy this experience. And Mr. Man Bun wanted to make a joke and laugh about it because I was trying to knock on the door, and you can see me flying across the screen because, of course, they start the video midway through it. The question is, how did I get to the timeout room? Why is all of that stuff before me being in the timeout room? Why is that not requisitioned? Why is it not there? Yeah, I fucked that dude up. He didn't like it at all, but I didn't hit him with an elbow. Don't put drugs in me that are going to make me violent. Don't do it. It's not the same as James Payton injecting himself with steroids. That is a choice. James Payton made the choice to inject himself with steroids. He admitted to injecting himself with steroids. And people would say, well, how's that different than James Payton doing steroids? I didn't choose it. That's the difference. There's also the fact that those are way worse than steroids. And I've got cards from some people, multiple people who work in the mental health care system that they're not happy with Haldol at all. So then what happens? Well, then Dr. David West, after these people want to physically harm me, and I'm arguing with the dude who's got my arm in an arm bar, and he's trying to break my fucking arm every time that I get too still. He tries to break my fucking arm, but they dragged me off camera. You can only see the lower half of my body in the camera footage, and this dude's trying to break my fucking arm. I'm like, hey, you're trying to break my arm. You got me in an arm bar.
This isn't an arm bar. This isn't an arm.
Fuck, it isn't. He's hyperextending my arm. My arm is this way. His arm is underneath mine, and he's pushing down on my wrist. He's got his arm right at my elbow. This is extremely painful. And then the lady who was on the other side of me, she's digging her name tag thing. It's dangling from her neck on a whatchamawhat's. They've obviously done this before. They knew exactly what they were doing. They have obviously dragged people to that point. They know where the camera starts, they know where it stops, they knew exactly what they were doing. So then their drugs finally knocked me out. I'm no longer capable of functioning as a human being, and it fucked me up, first of all, for weeks after this. And I know people who they've done this to that never came back from those injections. So go fuck your goddamn drugs. I suppose I should probably see. Now this lady who's talking about how fucked up it is, she took part in the assault against me. All right, so I'm pretty sure I already pasted it up, but I want to make sure. Why is it not pasting? Copy link address. Paste. The lady on the front of that one, she's in the video laughing. Laughing. How professional is that? So then they charged me with assault at Clearview after assaulting me and drugging me for trying to call 911. And of course, David West wants to do the same thing that Vanderleest did. Come stand over me and gloat in my face. Same thing that Officer Scott DaCosta did on the 16th of December of 2020. Stand over me and gloat in my face. In all of these situations, they needed all of the evidence, and these people omitted the harm that they did to me. And by pretending that I was schizophrenic, they were able to prevent me from getting heard or showing evidence repeatedly. So, an officer shows up, they're able to press charges against me for things that are entirely their fault. And I'm not allowed to defend myself. I'm not allowed to say anything. And I'm having to deal with nut jobs like Carl Rogers and also Kara Johnson Miles. And then this Layla Missy Johnson, who the fuck ever, who obviously isn't who she said that she was. God damn. They finally had to release me from Clearview. Now, I'd committed suicide. I made 3 notes, one for Maddie, one for Alicia, and one for Jamie Curtis in South Dakota. Now, I'd gotten some pictures, and I put those pictures into those. And of course, when I was released from Clearview, finally, I went and tried to turn them in, but I couldn't because they put me in an Uber with a guy from Senegal, which is a country in Africa. A guy from Senegal said that since it's the government that's paying for it and they're paying for me to go to Stout Street Clinic, that's where he's taking me. At Stout Street Clinic, I was supposed to meet Kara Heller and Jeffrey Ritter, who weren't there. These people repeatedly did everything that they could to cut me off from my resources, cut me off from being able to talk to the people that knew what was going on. Repeatedly, they did this. And of course, if you ain't got no money for the phone, you're fucked. In the jails, anyway. At Clearview, they have to let you use the phone. This whole time, my backpack is at Clearview, and I'm telling these people at Clearview, that backpack is full of evidence that the fucking cops need. That backpack is full of evidence. Now, of course, the cops did show up, but they didn't talk to me. They told me the same thing the cops tell you in the jail after they get done assaulting you. You get a lawyer when you get out. It's a running fucking joke. If you had the money for a fucking lawyer, you wouldn't be in jail. And you know what? Ted Hill and several other professionals at Lincoln Correction Center told me, you know what, if you had a decent lawyer, like if your lawyer was doing his job, you wouldn't have ended up here to begin with. Fucking duh. Now let's get back to the Clearview situation. They've held me longer than they're allowed to. They prevented me from talking to the cops. After the assault by them, I repeatedly told them, hey, you need to get the cops here. Oh, we already called them. They won't show up. You said they're not going to show up. They're not going to show up. So they charged me with assault after assaulting me and drugging me and laughing about it. And then I don't get to go to Louisville, where all of my stuff is, including all of my money. I can't go to the police department there because obviously they're not going to allow me to do that with the Uber. It drives me all the way to Stout Street Clinic. We're not allowed to stop along the way because it's on the government dollar. And he drops me off right at Stout Street Clinic like he's supposed to. I couldn't carry everything. I was standing outside of Stout Street Clinic. I got 2 sets of equipment. I got the set that is my life-saving gear, extra clothes, blanket, things of that nature. And then I've got the backpack of evidence that I'm still trying to show. I had to make a decision. What's more important? The gear that could save my life in inclement weather, or that evidence? Well, I chose to save the evidence, and then inclement weather showed up, and it was cold as a motherfucker. There was a Starbucks there, and at this Starbucks, I had to make another account to try to speak out and let people know what was going on. I shouldn't have had to do that. I shouldn't have had to do that in Starbucks. By the way, I still have some of those videos because it wasn't on YouTube. At that point, I still didn't know how to do YouTube. I didn't learn how to do that until Miss Jerry and Amanda helped me set it up when I was in Montana. How fucked up is that? So, of course, there's a homeless guy there. And he says that he's got something that I can use to push my gear. And we make a trade. Obviously, I don't have any drugs or anything of that nature. So he brings me a shopping cart. So now I'm homeless in Denver pushing a shopping cart. I can't have that. So I leave all of my life-saving gear in there, and I take that backpack of evidence, and I try to get somebody to help me. Meanwhile, I'm suffering from sensory overload. I'm on the 16th Street Mall. I ran into that on accident. That's in Denver. And I'm on the 16th Street Mall. I've had my face all over the fucking news. You think people are being nice to me? Fuck you. Luckily, most people didn't recognize me. But I also, on the news, I had a beard. And when I was walking around down there, I had this going on. so I look a bit different. But there are still people that recognize me. Now, at this point, I've already had a lot of people that are telling me that there's dead homeless people, that there's folks going out and killing anybody who looks like me. I've already dealt with homeless people in Boulder, Colorado, assaulting each other over whether or not I killed Natalie. I've already been informed that her twisted, fucked up sister Alicia was down there at the band shell on Canyon and Arapahoe, or Canyon and Broadway, sorry, screaming at homeless people there, "Where's Sean? Where's Sean?" Fuck, I haven't been able to go to Boulder in years by this point, or, well, at least a year, without being threatened, harassed, or assaulted. So, yeah, she's not going to fucking find me there. And all these things, I have to worry about and I have to think about. And I'm telling all these people, hey, you need to come forward to the cops about this. Oh no, that poor girl just lost her sister. You know what? It's her fault she lost her sister. It's her fault she spread these fucking rumors. It's her fault that she didn't tell the fucking truth in goddamn Virginia. It's her fault that she fucking lied to people. It is her fault that I was targeted. Alicia Bollinger is to blame for every single bit of this. But I'm the one taking the consequences. And the police went out of their way at every juncture to prevent me from being able to defend myself in court, to prevent me from showing evidence, to try to play out like I was some sort of violent schizophrenic. You think they were going to tell you they lied? No, I needed the body cameras for that. And Amanda Balehash wasn't going to do her job. She's a judge now. She was supposed to be my public pretender in Boulder County. She's a judge now in Adams County. That's where Natalie Bollinger was shot in the fucking head. Not okay. And I'm calling Miss Jerry, and yeah, I'm loud. People are saying, "Oh well, if you can't talk, then, or if you can't type it out, then talk to text." Everything that I'm saying in talk to text, it's picking up what other people around me are saying. It is a very noisy environment. The reason that I'm not able to talk at that point, and I'm trying to find a place that's private, is because obviously talking about this shit in public, especially when they haven't found her killer, is probably not a good fucking idea. Probably not a good idea. And these people, why don't you talk to text? You have any idea how many people ditched me just because when I was talk to texting, the words didn't come out right on the phone? I need help at this point. Candace Bondurant and um, Carl Rogers had both started GoFundMe's that were supposedly for me. People did donate it. People did donate money to them, but none of that money went to me. Not one penny went to me. And so at the Starbucks there, I'm calling people that are supposed to help me, like Lisette Brown, and I'm calling up Miss Jerry. Miss Jerry's broke. It's like, I can't help you, Sean. I'm broke. I'm broke. So I'm stuck there. Stuck there taking this abuse. Stuck there dealing with people's bullshit. And you know what? Lisette Brown, who was supposed to be my autism advocate, she's like, I can't help you. It's out of my jurisdiction. Are you or are you not supposed to be a member of the, not Longmont Autism Society, but the Autism Society of Colorado? Is that incorrect at all? I mean, I'm being abused. I'm in Denver. I'm not here by choice. All of my money is in, God, what do you call that place? Property and evidence at the Louisville Police Department. So, of course, I got to try to find a way there. Miss Jerry, she doesn't know how to get me any money. I am screaming. I mean, I have to scream so that I can actually be heard. And I'm literally screaming for help. Miss Jerry was on the phone, by the way, when I was assaulted by Waylon Lolotai. She was on the phone with me. And when she said she doesn't know any lawyers, that's when they pounced. You think she'd speak up about that? You would think, if she was a decent person who actually cared, but no, we'll get into her bullshit later. Jeff Ritter and Kara Heller come down. They meet me at the 16th Street Mall. They want me to fill out some paperwork. I fill out this paperwork. I'm like, hey, all I need is some fucking bus tickets. If I can get some bus tickets, I can go to Louisville. I have money there. And of course, they're like, oh, well, yeah, we can go down to Stout Street Clinic. Blah, 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 blah. And they're like, oh, well, actually, no, it's closed. It's closed. I guess we can't go there. We don't have any bus tickets to give you. So finally, Veronica Randall gets a hold of me. And she comes down and picks me up, her and a guy named Chaos the Misfit, a.k.a. Brian Townsend. And this guy really did do a lot for me. Now, Veronica Randall, I'm having problems. I can taste I could still taste I could still taste the pills that I tried to kill myself with. And I'm trying to explain this to her. She's wanting to take me out for a nice dinner. I don't need a nice dinner. I just need some bread, something to soak this flavor out of my mouth. I need something. And she's not getting it. Like, I've literally puked in my mouth and re-swallowed it twice while in the vehicle. And Brian Townsend is trying to explain to her, you need to pull over, all right? This isn't about just having something in having a nice meal in his stomach. If we drive for another 10 minutes to try to find him a place where he can get something to eat because you want to give him a nice fancy meal, she's not hearing it. She's fucking deaf to the world. But finally, she pulls over and I get out and I fucking puke. What did you fucking expect? At least I didn't puke all over your fucking vehicle. But I went to Veronica Randall's and when we got there, I was trying to tell her what was going on, and she stops me by screaming at the top of her lungs that it's my turn to talk. Fine. Obviously, she wasn't listening to me. Maybe if I listen to her, she'll listen to me. No, doesn't work that way. But then again, Veronica Randall is a fucking psycho who doesn't care about anybody but herself. When she saw some possible benefit in telling the truth, that's when she told the truth. Sort of. She got the facts wrong. Now, of course, I can't stay there, and that's when Brian Townsend is going around with me. We're going all around Longmont, Colorado. We are in contact with Danica Garner this entire time and Miss Shelley, and they're promising that they're going to come forward. I'm on the phone with them, and I've got her on speakerphone, and I can hear them, and Brian Townsend can hear them, and he's got a bike, and he's got my stuff on the handlebars of this bike, and we're pushing it around. Well, he's pushing it around, and he's carrying his gear and he's carrying mine. I mean, this guy did so much for me. I had to go register my fingerprints. But you know what? At least I was able to go with Brian Townsend to I can't remember if it was Louisville or Lafayette. But he did go in with me. Or he did go with me. He did go into that station so that I could pick up my things. He didn't make a police report or anything like that. He was a witness. I got my stuff back. I even made a video telling y'all who to thank for saving my life. If you gave a shit. So then, of course, we got an even more fucked up situation. It just keeps on getting better and better and better and better. I'm able to get that stuff. I've got my money. I can do things now. And we got to the motel there. It was a Super 8 in Longmont. There was an Asian man behind the counter, and he was racist as fuck. He didn't like Brian Townsend or his brother Clyde Townsend, who, by the way, don't look anything alike. Brian Townsend is shorter than me. Clyde Townsend is taller than me. Brian Townsend has, short, well-kept hair. His brother's got kind of wild hair. And of course, there's a bunch of people going out the back door and smoking cigarettes and smoking pot. And, people are doing this at the back door for a reason. You can't do that inside of the building, obviously. So, me and Brian are out there. And of course, this friend of Layla Johnson, or Missy Johnson, whatever the fuck she wants to go by, she's a goddamn web sleuth nut job. She's a catfish. That's what it is. But she was able to get this lady named Lisa, who is a social worker in, I want to say, New Jersey, paid for my room at the Super 8 motel and paid for a 2-bedroom room. Obviously, I'm going to have somebody else there with me, but they didn't like Brian Townsend. They wanted to accuse him of selling drugs out the back of their fucking Super 8. No. Hell no. And meanwhile, there's a lady there who has been raped, and she's across the hall from me, and her phone won't work, and she needs the money to get a new phone. The sheriff's department has hooked her up with that room. The sheriff's department did that because she was raped, and she needed to get a hold of her husband. And I did my best to help her out. I don't remember her name, but if I go back through, I might be able to find it. I got it written down somewhere, although the backpack that was full of evidence was eventually stolen. You got to see that in Washington State. There's a video about that. Yeah, it's a big fucking complicated situation. Alright, this one is called Candace Bondurant's Mom 1. We'll right click it, copy a link address, and we'll post it here. Paste. I told the fucking truth. We'll find another one, Candace Bondurant's Mom 2. Right click, copy link address. Go over to the side here and we press paste. Blam. Easy. Not fucking complicated. These people didn't want to come forward, so I did. I did. Now then, of course, while me and Mr. Townsend are in Longmont, we go to Winchell's. He's got stuff that he's got to do. And he's basically been ditching me the whole time that we had a hotel room. He had to go pawn a ring that he had, and then he had to go buy the ring that he had back. And then, he's got to go do this, and he's got to go do that. And then, he wanted to go get some alcohol and have a little bit of drinking and whatever. Fine. You're an adult. You can do that. But I need somebody who's going to be here to help me go through this stuff. Finally, I got him to help me to organize it a little bit and take some pictures. And that was the day that they wanted to be racist and pretend that, because he was a black guy, he must be selling drugs out back of their Super 8. Now, the right thing to do at that point is to stand up to that racist Asian asshole. He wasn't an asshole because he was an Asian. He was an asshole because he was a fucking racist piece of shit. So I had to kick Brian Townsend out. So, all of his life-saving gear he takes with him. He can't carry all of it. Somebody stole the bike. You know where I was when I found out? This is a day before they found, or before they announced that they found Natalie Bollinger's killer. I am in a Winchell's donut shop, and this place is a historical place for me. When I was a kid and I got to go home for a home visit, My mom worked at a place called Rally Sport, and she would go get the day old donuts from there. And the guy who worked there, this is back in the 80s, the guy that worked there was real nice. Well, that Winchell's donut shop was still there. And I'm waiting on Brian Townsend to show up, and he's a few hours late. I've tipped the woman, who works there $20 probably 3 times just so that I don't get messed with for being there. I bought more food than I need because I want to make sure that I'm a customer. And Detective Peterson calls me up. Him and Detective Rogers tell me they caught the guy that killed Natalie and they're going to release it tomorrow. Well, I was pretty excited. I released it that day. At least in that moment, those two piece of shit cops had done something right. They were my heroes in that moment. And they changed shifts, and almost immediately the guy that was there kicked me out. He didn't kick me out, though. He had the cops kick me out. He didn't bother asking me to leave like a decent human being would. That is what a decent human being would do. Not go out of your way to pretend he's some sort of a fucking monster and call the cops. Ask him. Just ask him. I did get to run into Brian Townsend again. Thank goodness. The cops fucked up. And they fucked up big. And they allowed my predators to go free. And these asswipes have been covering for each other ever since. Yeah, I can't do anything about these other predators because the cops are too busy trying to cover their own asses. Fuck you, Scott Costa. Fuck you, Waylon Lolatai. Let's put something up here about Waylon Lolatai. Here's a good one. Copy link address. This is for all of you. This is the officer who had assaulted me right after Natalie died. The officer I was trying to turn in when I was sent to Clearview. Darren O'Connor said he was going to help me. But then he wanted to play, oh, here's a racist piece of shit. This is Zaid Atkinson. This guy is a fucking housey. He is a racist goddamn fucking whorehole. I have nothing nice to say about this man. Now, when it first happened, I did, because he was honest for one goddamn situation. But now he wants to play on his skin color, knowing full well that these people who are homeless are treated like this every day in Boulder, Colorado. Now let's also post up a link to the video, and there's also Darren O'Connor. He and I had many conversations about it that are recorded on this here YouTube channel. We'll type in the word Zaid Atkinson. I only got 2 letters in and it popped right up. So let's look at this racist piece of shit. That's right, he's not a white guy. Waylon Lolatai is darker than this man. Paste. There you go. And then we got the, it says 22 minutes and 52 seconds of this. Copy link address. If this man had actually been homeless, which he looks like a fucking hobo, he really does. He doesn't look like a clean-cut, well-kept fucking college student like the Border Police cater to. Yes, Border Police cater to black people in specific in Boulder, Colorado. They cater to homosexuals in Boulder, Colorado. They're trying to present an image of being liberal. You goddamn right I saved the evidence, you fucking pieces of shit. It is not my fault that that shit happened to Candace Bondurant. It is not my fault. It is not my fault that the news wanted to paint me as some sort of a fucking monster. It is not my fault that the police wanted to go out of their way to try to pretend that I was violent. It's not my fault. But who is it that they treated like shit? Candace Bondurant? I'm out there fucking freezing. It is fucking snowing. And I'm telling her, hey, I am in this situation because you were too much of a fucking piece of shit and a goddamn coward to tell the truth. And by this point, my phone was already completely full. I had to delete screenshots in my phone and go through and find specifically the parts where Candace Bondurant had, during the actual situation, been typing this shit and sent that to Carl Rogers. There were people who had let me know, hey man, I'm getting off of Facebook. You know, Carl Rogers started this group. She's bad mouthing you in this group and talking shit about you in this group and posting up a bunch of stuff from Candace about you two arguing. Goddamn right we argued. You fucking goddamn right I called her a cunt and a bitch and probably a lot of other mean shit. And I am fucking proud of myself for that. Am I the one that harassed her on her way to take her kids to school? Am I the one that fucking harassed her at work? No, that was Officer Michael Beard of the Haxton Sheriff's Department. Now, by giving me false charges, they prevented me from turning in any of these officers. I gotta wait until the charges are over to do a goddamn thing about it. Oh! People didn't want to look at it, they just wanted to hate. I got people who are obviously delusional and don't have the ability to understand you can't stalk a fucking dead person. Posting up evidence and telling the truth is not stalking a dead person. Not fucking okay. Miss Peaches wants to tell me that she's afraid for her kids. Laura Nelson wants to tell me she's afraid for her kids. Candace Bondurant wants to tell me she's afraid for her kids. My little sister, obviously, afraid for her kid. Go fuck yourselves. Fuck this goddamn country. And fuck all the soldiers and all the cops. They could do the right thing. Instead, they commit felonies to cover up for their crimes. Lovely. On the bright side, my live chat over here on the side, it stays up. You guys can go through all of that shit if you care. If you don't, well, you're the reason this shit happens, you fucking coward. It's just goddamn entertainment to you. You can fucking kiss my ass. You don't like my curse words? You can kiss my ass. You don't like me screaming and shouting? You can kiss my ass. I said it nice. I said it nice repeatedly. You didn't fucking hear me. Now, of course, there's hundreds of other people that are involved in this situation that are minor parts that don't fucking matter. Joanna Taylor Smith and Derek Parrish came to see me. They wouldn't come to the motel room because they were having issues with Chaos the Misfit, aka Brian Townsend. And I'm trying to show them the evidence between me and Miss Shelley or Miss Natalie's ex-stepmother, showing that I am in contact with them. I'm trying to show them evidence of the shit that I'm going through, and I'm listening and tell, oh, I don't have to see that. I believe you. I believe you. Later on, when they wanted to be fucking pieces of shit to me, well, I didn't know anything. Fucking, I didn't see shit. Yeah, you told me you believed me, And even after telling me you believed me, I tried over and over and over again to show you in that vehicle what was going on. You believed me, so you didn't look. You're a fucking piece of shit, Joanna Taylor Smith. You're a fucking piece of shit, Derek Parrish. You don't like these words? Well, you need to get the fuck over it. You're offended by words? Well, I'm offended by all of my dead friends that are dead because you guys are fucking cowards. Candace Bondurant is by far the worst friend I ever had. Who are the friends that I got rid of while I was in Virginia? Well, we'll start off with my dad, and then Candace Bondurant, and Miss Jerry, that's Jerry Sparks, who lives in Bozeman, Montana, and Lan Engeline, who lives in Bozeman, well, Glatton Gateway, actually, which is right there by Bozeman, and her daughter Amanda Engeline, and of course, Tyler Frericks, who is Jerry Sparks' son, and Jennifer Frericks, who is um, Jerry Sparks' daughter. And of course, there's Jerry's niece, Kendall. All of them I blocked from my Facebook. I was done with them. If you're going to say that Colin Kaepernick should be punched in the throat because he's standing up for our rights as human beings, go fuck yourself. That is not okay. That was in Virginia in 2016. And these are the people that I got to try to depend on. These are the people who were offering to help me after Natalie died. And then they pulled the same fucking bullshit that they did while I was in Virginia. Go fuck yourselves. Meanwhile, look at all that shit. People who just showed up to my channel, they want me to explain everything to them in a 30-minute goddamn Matlock special. Yeah, explain all that in 30 fucking minutes, assholes. That's only half of the fucking paperwork. There's still a lot of paperwork that I need my own fucking address in order to get that shit. And I need to be able to be safe in that environment and long term, because if I have to wait on Brenda goddamn Dickinson to fucking answer her door to get my fucking mail, it's gonna be too late for me to do that shit. Don't tell me that I can use your mailbox and then not answer the door, and then when I get the developmental disability paperwork that's supposed to make it so the cops have to do something about this shit, she can't answer her door for 2 fucking weeks. And then she wants to throw it in my goddamn face. Like, well, you should ask for it. I fucking did. I called her and asked for it. I showed up at her door, knocked on the door to ask for it. That's how the situation with the Martindales ended up happening. Brenda was too fucked up on her goddamn rheumatoid arthritis meds to be of any help to anybody. She was busy, stuck in her own fucking mind, talking about everybody else in town's fucking business, everything but focusing on actually helping me, being negative the whole fucking time and talking about her fucking bowel movements. I don't care if you're embarrassed, Brenda Dickinson. You got your chance to repent right now. All of these people who want to pretend to be Christians, they have their chance to repent right now. They have their chance to admit their sins like I do. They have their chance to tell the truth like I do. Did these people fucking lie to me? Were they just trying to manipulate me, or did these things actually happen? Yeah, lots of people don't want their words up here. Well, fuck you. You put a lot of people at risk by not coming forward and telling the fucking truth. You don't get to push that on me. Now, these people had two ways to go about this. Number one, they could come forward about what they knew and help to clear my name. Or number two, they could become my enemies. Well, you know what? They didn't come forward, did they? So I recorded their words and I posted them up, and they have become my enemies. They don't need to be my enemies. They can be honest. They don't need to be my enemies. That's their choice, not mine. I'm not interested in going to hurt anyone. There were only two times that I actually threatened people with violence. And I admitted to that. One of them was after my grandmother's funeral, and I did threaten Ted. If anything happened to Alicia or Danica or any of Alicia's siblings or Rochelle Shelley Campbell or Rose M. Kelly, if anything happened to them, yes, I did make a threat. And no, I couldn't possibly follow through with it. I don't have it in me to fucking kill somebody. I do have it in me to stand in front of people who are wielding knives or skateboards, and even a gun once. Keep them from fucking harming somebody else. Yeah, you gotta go through me. Get over it. Here's something I'm against: false reporting. If you're gonna tell me this shit happened, you better be telling the fucking truth. And that's not a threat. It's not an open ended threat. It's you better be telling me the truth because I am still pursuing this. You do not get to do this shit and get away with it. I am going to pursue this until I get a court date and get to face my accusers. Witnesses are telling me, well, I'm not a lawyer. I can't help you. You don't need to be a fucking lawyer, dumbass. You're a fucking witness, you fucking moron. You fucking cheesy ass piece of shit. Now, obviously, Tony knew about Danny's death. That's Tony DeStassi. And Anna knew about Danny's death. Of course, this wasn't their friend. Pursuing charges against the Boulder fucking sheriff's department, Boulder Police Department, and emergency first responders who didn't send anyone out for hours. It says in their report that somebody had called it in at 6:45. Then why was he back there dead? Dead at 10 o'clock when me and Tony went back there. Meanwhile, the investigator in that was Sergeant Gerhardt, who was also, by the way, when I was finally given the number to turn in Waylon Lolatai, I'm already out of the state. I'm in fucking Cheyenne, Wyoming, trying to fucking report this shit. I'm in a different Starbucks. And of course, I got harassed and ran out of there. Why? Because you can't talk about people getting shot in fucking public without fucking nut jobs going fucking crazy and fucking calling the goddamn cops. I wasn't threatening to shoot anybody. I was talking about the fact that people were dead, that Natalie got shot in the head. That's the problem with not having a safe fucking place. I shouldn't have had to do any of this in public. And if you look where I went nationwide, Starbucks, Starbucks, Starbucks. Why is that? Because of their policies. They have a safe place policy. It was made for homosexuals. Now, meanwhile, the guy who decided that he was going to victimize me in one of the Starbucks there in Wyoming, in Cheyenne, where Maggie, of course, spoke up about the situation. Well, Maggie worked there. She is the reason that I had coffee, her and a lady named Priscilla. And Priscilla, she was a Jehovah's Witness, and she wanted me to go to, I think she called it temple. These people were all right with me. Matter of fact, there's conversations with um, Priscilla on here from when all of that bullshit happened. There's also the note that Maggie wrote me when the cops decided they were going to harass me. No, it's not illegal for me to be here. It's not illegal to be here. I do have a note. My car is out of gas, and Maggie did speak up about it. But she spoke out about it on one of these web sleuth channels instead of, well, speaking out loud and proud until she got heard. She sent me a friend request on Facebook, and she got onto that YouTube channel, and she told the truth on that YouTube channel. And then she blocked me on Facebook out of nowhere. I can only assume, and assumption is the mother of all fuck ups, but I can only assume that people were threatening and harassing her. And those cops, just like when I took in the letter from Graham Milburn, I told all of these people, if you don't go in with me, it's not going to make any difference. And they kept on saying shit like, well, how do we know you didn't write that? How do we know you didn't write that? How do we know you didn't write that? How do we know you didn't make a fake account and send that to yourself? Well, those people that these cops wanted to play that bullshit every fucking time, I've got their voices on my YouTube channel. That's right. I suppose we should post up Tony DeStassi. It's your channel. Copy a link address. Here's a conversation with Tony DeStassi. Anna. Miss Anna talking about Shady Dan. Now, there's several Annas that I know, so this could get very complicated. So I'm not going to talk about Anna Hunka, who is also one of the people who is dead because of this situation. Anna Hunka should still be alive. And if it hadn't been for all of this, I would have been able to go rescue her in person like I usually did. I'd been from one end of this country to the other, already rescuing people in the United States. Well, before Natalie, I'd never been east of Kansas, but I'd rescued people from Boulder, Colorado on west. I'm hoping this thing posted. Yep, I posted the one with Anna twice. I do apologize for that. Now let's type the word hungry, Hungary. These are both from King of Nickels. All of these people, all of them, try to get their words off fucking YouTube. Fuck you. Don't pretend you're my fucking friend, you fucking cowardice goddamn motherfuckers. Now there's two videos. Let's see, another Gen BV phone conversation. All right, I suppose we ought to put that up because she's in a lot of my stories. There's a few of these. I don't know if that's the actual conversation or not. I need to listen to it, but let's see, another call with a witness from Hungary too. Copy link address. This is also King of Nickels. It wasn't their money I needed, it was their words, and I needed them when they made a difference.